Tolkien wanted distance between his experience and his world and his fantasy. He wanted a world that was entirely distinct and completely imagined. However, I don't think anyone can actually create art that is divorced from themselves and their experiences. Tolkien was a veteran of the Great War, that is World War I. He actually began jotting down lines about the ideas that would be eventually incorporated into Middle-earth while he was in those trenches watching his friends die. And at a later date, he said that Samwise Gamgee specifically represented the Tommies in the trenches in World War I, who he knew were stronger and in some ways more important than him to winning this war, even though he was an officer. He didn't actually begin writing the Lord of the Rings texts until 1936 or 37, and he didn't finish until 1954. Thus, most of his book is written down during and after the trauma of World War II, not World War I. However, he denies that World War II is reflected in his art completely. I would argue that it's impossible for a socialized human to be divorced from his time and culture. Tolkien's morals, his worldview, are inevitably shaped by the traumas, the experiences that he had. Although there was certainly not a one-to-one allegory in Lord of the Rings between Tolkien's portrayal of an earth-wrecking greed and power defeated by a small British-like hobbits, it is a product of the culture in which Tolkien was immersed. How do you think Tolkien's work, as translated into Jackson's film, reflects his culture? Jackson's trilogy premiered a few months after September 11th, 2001. Although the film was done before this world shifting act of terrorism, how does the film relate to its modern context? In what ways do you see a postmodern culture reflected in the Lord of the Rings films? For your final activity this week, in 1 to 2 sentences, discuss whether or not you feel this 20-year-old film of a 70-plus-year-old epic still has resonance for viewers today. And why is that?